it's Friday. Yay!
Hello.
We're all quite not right in the head. Oh, it's for Nicky.
How you guys doing today?
Oh, brilliant.
I'm suffering from heat stroke.
You are? Jeez.
Yeah, and sunstroke.
I could tell.
And cat stroke and
You're suffering everything.
and personal stroke.
He's stroked up. He really is stroked up. We've got 3 in the chat who has joined us. Hey Nigel, I'm glad that you're doing okay. It's Friday, isn't it? So how is everyone?
I just got back home from work not too long ago, and it was a rough day today.
Oh, lovey.
Yeah.
Well, we'll cheer you up. That's why we're called Ghouls and Ghouls.
Yeah, exactly.
2 minutes, guys.
So yes, hope everybody is okay.
Yep. So tonight we are talking ley lines and UFOs. Oh, Nigel's been helping Father Christmas in the North Pole today.
Oh, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, just say I'm off thumb.
Oh, look at your thumb. What happened?
Is it black?
I've been busy working in the garden today. I've been pulling up weeds and sorting out the patio. ready for a pagoda to be installed tomorrow, and ready for the Spokenary swimming pool to be installed.
Ooh.
Whoa!
You know what that means? We're all heading to Wayne's house for this.
The Spokenary swimming pool's not shaped in a ghost shape. It's just a rectangle shape with a unicorn fountain in it. It's only for the kids, but you know.
Yeah.
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 I mean, you could have like a time span, like one for the kids and then one for the adults.
Yeah, it's true. You will.
Well, the first one I got, it was one of those ones that you have 3 rings to inflate, and we inflated it, and within 5 minutes, the 2 top rings deflated by themselves, and I thought, oh, well, that ain't no good. So I thought, well, maybe it's because I haven't put the stoppers in properly. So I blew it up again, pushed the stoppers in all the way. I thought, brilliant, I've sorted it. Next minute I know, the 2 top rings have gone down again. So I'm not having this. So I contacted the seller, and they went, can you take a photo of it, please? So I said, right. So I reinflated it again. This is all by mouth. I haven't got a foot pump or anything. So I'm like, it's a good job I've got big lungs. So I've blown it back up again, taken a photo. Then I took a photo 5 minutes later. The 2 top rings deflated. Sent it back to them. They said, right, we'll send you another one. So I'm like, brilliant. Don't send back the other one. Fine. So I thought, right, so I've left the other one up with the bottom ring going and just had that as a paddling pool. And the thing was, it came with this unicorn that you stick on the side of the pool and attach the hose pipe to it, and it sprays water in the air and into the pool. But they also gave us 10 free rubber ducks. Now, I wondered whether they thought I was part of a fairground attraction where you hook a duck. Because lo and behold, 5 days later, another swimming pool turned up with a unicorn that sprays water in the air. And lo and behold, at the bottom of the box, there was 10 more rubber ducks. So now I've got 20 of the bloody things.
Oh my God, I'm not even going to ask.
Now I am convinced they think I'm running a fairground attraction.
Probably. Hey Nicola, how you doing? Oh, there's a Nick the Prick. He's finally out the Facebook, Jill. Congratulations, you youngster. Yep. I did a wee bit of research. Yes, I'm geeky. I know. I found actually quite interesting things, and some things I didn't even actually know. One of the things that jumped out to me was a guy in 1969 called John Mitchell. He had a theory that there was a possible connection between cosmic harmonies, mathematic principles, and earth energies. And I found that really pretty fascinating when it comes to ley lines, and I actually find it all. I mean, what he said was he argued that the ancient man understood the need to balance his endeavours with the forces of nature. The system is known as geomorphy, or the science of wind and water, and is not dissimilar in principle to the Chinese system of feng shui, which seeks to create and channel positive energy through balance and harmony. And I found that really interesting when I read all that. And obviously, I had in 1936, Dion Fortune wrote a book called Goat for Gods, suggesting that ley lines gave such an energy that it's not only affecting people, but the earth, but it's reached the whole universe. And I thought that was pretty cool as well. I'm fascinated with ley lines, and I'm fascinated with UFOs. And it's great when you've got the one half of the Dark Mirror boys with you when it comes to UFOs. And you've got young Nicholas in the corner. But it's dead fascinating. And as I said, I have explored and investigated a town that when it came to ley lines, their ley lines were so strange. It was like, how possible can like a town have so many going ons? What's your thoughts on ley lines, guys?
See, when it comes to ley lines, I mean, I've had different thoughts. Also, another thing too about that is I've actually just been studying recently about ley lines, so it's still kind of a new subject to myself. So I'm still kind of learning it.
See, I pick up on ley lines. The first time I noticed this, and don't think I'm being silly or anything, but the first
not at all.
I actually noticed it in mass. It was massive. Is when I first went to Glastonbury to the festival. It's the only time I've been. I most probably never go there again. But it was an experience I had, and it was in 2002. And I was about 30 miles outside of there. So we come off, is it the M4, something like that? And then we turn left, basically. We were going down. And the energy levels were off the scale down there. Absolutely buzzing. I was buzzing. My niece was with me and her boyfriend. Her boyfriend didn't notice anything, but he was, anyway, we were buzzing, absolutely buzzing. And I was absolutely amazed about that. Was the first time I realized the energies in certain areas, but I do pick up on them in a certain area where I live, further down the coast. I pick up on that area quite a lot. And I was fascinated with this one area where I just can feel them. But where it went behind me, so if I turn, I'm looking at the coast now. So when I turn behind, I'm looking up into the countryside. The whole area there was massive, absolutely massive with energies. But since then, I found certain areas there with ancient caves in, and a lot of stuff going on in that area. But a certain gentleman who's, I won't mention his name, he's quite famous, and he lives by Macclesfield, somewhere like that. and he's in his 70s, this man. And he came to visit me. And he stood there and he said, I took him to the place and we stood on this hill. And he said, see that lighthouse over there? And I said, yeah. He said, that area there, we used to go caravanning there when we were little. And him and his sister got took off the beach, and they went missing for 4 hours before they returned. And he says that he's been taken all his life. His mother was taken, and he was a little bit, and he was a nice guy, but there was something sort of like was telling me, just keep from him. Do you know what I mean? Just be careful.
Yeah.
Although he was very nice and everything. But then I realised that maybe he was right, because that is energy lines. There was energy lines crisscrossing the whole area there. So, yeah. And another place that he got took from was Llandudno, when he was little, on holiday in a B&B there with his mum and dad and his sister. 1 minute they were in the bedroom in this B&B, the next thing they were at the bottom of a cliff off the Great Orme. They don't know how they got there. They don't know how.
Oh, my favourite.
Hi, but the thing is, the whole area there is a big copper mine. It's a copper mine. So it's all these rocks and it's all these metals and everything. So maybe it's all connected. There's a lot of ancient places there which is connecting into it. So I don't know, maybe it does connect all together. You know, it's got to be connecting.
Yeah. I mean, as I've been fascinated with ley lines, I didn't really experience ley lines until obviously I started with my first team. And when we went to as I said, that town that we went to, it's a place called Peebles in Scotland. And it's known as a witchcraft town. And pretty much it was like I wanted to research it deeper, know more about ley lines, know, what are they? And I didn't realise actually how quite powerful ley lines actually are. I'll go quickly into the chat. Hey Craig, ley lines fascinate me. The same, honey. Chris says ley lines are true energy, earth energy. That's how spirit can communicate across distances. Hey Jenny. Hey Tim. Thank you very much. And hey Chantel. But what about you, Mr. Seaton or Nick? What do you think? Well, here he comes. When he grabs hands,
this is like the old answer right here.
Hello, everybody. That's why it's called Fools and Ghouls for some reason. I mean, when you look back through ancient times, we know things like Stonehenge, the pyramids, the Nazca lines, and the Inca pyramids, and everything else. Yep. They have all been placed on convergence of ley lines.
Yeah.
So even the ancients knew about Earth's magnetic field, Earth's magnetic energy, and where ley lines meet. They knew where the energy would be at its strongest. And the weirdest part of that then is when you link it with UFOs, that a lot of UFO sightings have been at places where these ley lines converge.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, when ley lines converge, that increases the amount of Earth's magnetic energy. And it's the natural source of energy.
Yeah.
Also, you have UFO sightings have been seen in places like Rendlesham Forest here in Suffolk, UK, which was also where a lot of nuclear weapons were stored. And leading up to the main event at Rendlesham Forest, UFOs had been spotted on radar hovering over the base where these weapons were being stored. And a couple of eyewitnesses had actually clearly stated that they had seen beams of light shining down on these mounds where the weapons were.
Wow. Yeah.
And the claim is that it's the source of energy that they are wanting to use. Up until modern day man created these weapons, these UFOs or these beings would have used the convergence of ley lines, because that's where Earth's magnetic energy is the strongest.
Yeah.
Then you get people like Nikola Tesla, who also knew about ley lines and Earth's magnetic energy and knew how to harness it. And this is where some of the theories come in, that the likes of the Inca Indians and the Egyptians knew how to harness that energy as well, because they placed the pyramids slap bang on the spot where ley lines converge.
Yes. Yeah.
Also in line with the star constellations.
And over water.
Yeah, they were a lot more aware of the Earth and how its energy is way before. I mean, we seem to have forgotten all about it. And there's not many people that still sort of look into Earth's own magnetic force, because we've been blindsided by new technology and all this new stuff that's been pushed on us. The old ways have been pushed to one side and forgotten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Nikola Tesla's inventions got squashed and were made to disappear.
Yes.
But that was because he had enabled a way of harnessing Earth's magnetic energy, turning it into normal energy, and projecting it for miles for free.
Yeah.
No one wants to give away energy for free. So,
do you know what? I quite enjoyed when we did Tesla that night. We did do Tesla because there was a lot that you look at that's out there today, and it's got Tesla written all over it.
It has. I mean, you look at it nowadays when you've got things like people turn around and say, look, I can drive my car for 150 miles on a pint of water.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then when I get to the other end of that 150 miles, all I've got to do is put another pint of water in and off I go for another 150 miles. But you can't, you know, all you're going to do is pay for the water that you bring out your tap. But there's nothing stopping you from filtering rainwater, distilling rainwater so it's pure water, and then putting it in your tank for free.
Yeah.
No one can stop you. But what they do is they stop the patents coming through for these engines to be developed properly, because the people that run these cars are going to lose too much money. The likes of Shell, BP, and all these other big petroleum companies are all going to go bust, because water is free. It falls out the sky for nothing. And no one wants to give away free energy.
No, true. Well, see, when I was also doing my research, I came across Alfred Wickens and his marvellous discovery. And he was born, funny enough, where Craig comes from, Hertford, England. And he operated like small businesses, several businesses in the towns. And as Watkins grew up, he began taking on duties for like family trades. That's where he discovered. He developed a good knowledge of the region, basically, and he also had a deep interest in photography. So he was not only just respected as a landscape photographer and a craftsman. He was even developed the Watkins beam meter, a small exposure meter with a timing chain for travelling photographers. But he's remembered a lot less today for his photography, but more for his theory on ley lines. Because his own account was first discovered ley lines during a rush of revelations on June the 30th in 1921. He was standing on a hill and, right, please forgive me because I'm going to slaughter this name, stupid, is Black Wardine. When he saw a map, he saw on a map that a number of ancient sites stood in a perfectly straight line. His view from the top of the hill seemed to confirm this, and he followed his initial observation by examining the view from other tall hills in the area. And he said that he was unhampered by other theories on ley lines and that his observations were yielding astounding results in all districts. He actually went on to further theorise that starting at any one point along the line and travelling along it would also reveal sites not marked on the maps, such as forest glides, trenches, notches, crested hills. So his view of the world echoed other alignment theories, all of which are largely suggesting the same thing, that ancient humans were in tune with some force, largely unobserved by the modern man. So this constructed their sacred places. So obviously, you know what it's like when people suggest theories, it can either be a hit or a miss. People are happy enough with it, and some people ain't happy enough with it. But obviously, his theory didn't win over everyone. However, to this day, you know what the existence of ley lines are like. Everybody talks about them. Everybody, because it's amazing the amount of places, and I have seen like Google pictures with like the way they're doing ley lines, and it's actually drawn me in.
Yeah.
Yep.
The thing is the people that talk about ley lines are the people like us, the people that are into
Yeah.
the paranormal, and people that are into the old ways. So, like people that still practice paganism and
Yeah.
spiritualism know about ley lines. So, people like us will talk about ley lines. But the average person that gets up and go to work 9 till 5, come home, have their dinner, and then go out to the pub for a couple of hours, come home and go to sleep, get up and do the same thing all over again the following day, probably wouldn't talk about ley lines because that's out of their interest range.
Yeah.
So that's why I said earlier on that in a sense it's a dying art. People don't talk about ley lines anymore, whereas back then everybody would have talked about ley lines because that was the center of everything for them, because that's where they had their centers of worship.
Yes, it is.
A convergence of ley lines was the be all and end all for the way they worshipped whatever they worshipped at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But nowadays, the average person doesn't really give two hoots about where they worship or what they worship. But it's not going to be on a convergence of ley lines. It's only a selected few that still do that.
Yeah.
You know, the people that congregate around Stonehenge, you know, for that period of summer solstice, you'd get thousands of people turn up. But those thousands of people are from all over the world.
Yeah.
Not just the UK. They've come from all over the world and converged on Stonehenge because summer solstice day at Stonehenge is their thing.
Yes.
But when you think there's 8 billion people on this planet and only 2,000 or 3,000 people have turned up at Stonehenge, that's not much.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it really is.
We've got a place here in Wales. You must probably know about it, Wayne. It's Bryncetty, and that's a 5,000-year-old burial mound. And I took a nap down there on that day, but I would have preferred the day before. I could have got up and gone to see it. And the light comes up, it comes through one end, and it hits the stone on the other side through a small exit, and it bounces.
Yeah.
But just being there on that day is you can feel the energies, the whole energy. The area is buzzing, I try and get there every year if I can. It's well worth going. I know you think, oh, you've got to go for a walk, you've got to walk here, walk there. But once you're there, you know, it's like your legs can't go quick enough for me. I can't get there quick enough. I get there. I'm like, I feel like that, and I'm in slow motion. But yeah, so I mean, it's just it's a pull for everybody. People park up the road in the campers so that they can get up and go for that walk. It's silly, what, 4 o'clock, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning just to watch it coming up. You know, and it's amazing. And I've been watching it go down. Still
it's the sort of thing you do as an annual pilgrimage, isn't it? If that's the sort of thing you enjoy, it's like on the Millennium, you know. As soon as loads of people they worked out when dawn was going to be, and they headed to the west coast, to the east coast, straight away. You know, as soon as all their parties had finished, they made their way to the coast, and they sat there and waited for the sun to rise.
Yeah.
Because to them, that was significant to them, because the sun was dawning on a new millennium.
Yes.
And I was one of those people. I went off to the East Coast. I sat there at Frinton-on-Sea, and me and my girlfriend at the time, we sat there and waited for the sun to rise.
Yeah.
That morning, and it was the first of the new millennium. And to me, that was pretty significant. But to others, they all headed home with a hangover and went to bed, and that was it.
Yeah. I think it's made easier for like us guys that are into the paranormal and we talk about all this stuff. Do you know what? Everybody's going to laugh, even in the chat, right? But sorry guys, my thing. Oh, that's brilliant. Sorry, I got a bit distracted. But I've moved Nick. No meaning to move Nick.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
It's like I don't want you to sit beside me anymore. That's what it is. Kidding on. But people are going to laugh, but I can't imagine sitting talking to the average Joe that doesn't do paranormal anymore. I don't think I could actually have a normal conversation with them. Like, you couldn't say it would be weird. Or maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just because I'm an introvert. Believe it or not.
The thing is, though, you would be surprised at how many people actually do believe in the paranormal, but choose not to talk about it because they don't want to be ridiculed. I'm going back to my garden now. A couple of days ago, there was someone on my local Facebook group that I'm a member of, was getting rid of a pagoda. And he just said, you know, it needs to be dismantled. Send us a message if you're interested. So I did. Only I was second in the queue. The first person never bothered turning up. So they messaged me and said, you know, it's yours if you want it. Turned out he only lived just round the corner from my house.
Brilliant.
So I've walked down to it. And this thing has been up for 16 years. I was half expecting it to be falling down. But it wasn't. He treated it with timber treatment, and it was in good condition. It just needed the ivy scraped off, bit of sand in, and then a bit of TLC, and it would have been perfect. So I've arranged to go back down there. But while I'm sitting there, he was saying to me, you know, are you going to be able to fit this in with your work? So I told him what I do for my job. And his eyes lit up. His eyebrows went straight up the top of his head. His eyes were wide open, and he went, wow, that is amazing. I believe in all that stuff, he said, but I never tell anybody because I don't want to be ridiculed. And we ended up spending half an hour talking about going out paranormal investigating, looking for spirits, looking for UFOs, going off to off into the wilds of Suffolk looking for black shuck. And it's surprising that how many people do talk about it, providing they are with or they start talking to somebody that is quite openly upfront about it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they'd have just kept their gob shut.
Yeah.
Me, I don't care. You know, I just stand there and I go, hey, I'm a paranormal investigator. I don't care. I'll let anybody know. If you think I'm crazy, if you think I'm crazy, then I'm crazy. I don't care.
Nicholas says Tesla night was good. Look, we will get another Tesla night for sure. Chris says Tesla is the man, the myth, the legend. Hey Noreen, hey Tracy. Chantel says, I think, you're killing me, Chantel, with these big words. Right, Nick, on you go, you can read that one.
I think these conversions and areas are often mapped as triangles because they are used for communication or transport. Because think about it, FBI can ping anyone's phone and locate it by triangulating the signal. I think it's for something similar to that. And I also just want to get to this quickly. Hi, Lauren. Good to see you.
Hey, Lauren.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely Chantel. It's a really interesting. Oh, for God's sake! Good evening. Like Ballbag Maximus is here. Good evening, melting in England. You're not melting fast enough. Had to change into the bikini. What a bloody sight! Getting into Asda was way too warm. If you're dressed with a bikini, I'd hate to see the bloody sight yet.
Was it a bikini or a mankini, Scott? Because obviously a mankini would be more revealing.
I'll tell you. See if there's body bags getting carried out to Asda tonight, because obviously he's killed them all off. Oh my God. Folks, if you're in the local, if you're in the local area and you see the total eclipse, don't worry about it. It's not the eclipse. It's just Scott's arse. So
I definitely do not.
I was going to say,
think of that.
If he was saying he was going to Iceland, then you could understand why they used to come out with the saying, "Good job, Mum's gone to Iceland."
Yeah.
Because that would be the reason why Mum goes to Iceland.
Yep. Because you'll see Scott and Asda with a young Keeney fucks. Scott says, hi, my noble bonded brother Nick. It's always a pleasure to see you. Scott, he doesn't like you. Noreen's like, poor Lo, that picture of I'm going to my therapist, Noreen.
But wouldn't it be a true Scotsman would just wear a leaf? You know, a Scotsman and his kilt wouldn't wear anything underneath it, so surely you should have a leaf over that bit.
No wonder I want to become English. Oh my Lord! I've lost the reins in my show. It's just been.
No, you got to remember tonight's show is about letting go, relaxing, and having fun. Thursday nights is the serious night. You're taking things too serious, Lois. It's the funny side tonight.
It is funny. Only my grand knows what. Oh, for God's sake! Only my grand knows what I wear under my coat. Oh
God! Wow.
Does MD? You're right, Noreen.
I probably will too.
So will I. Oh my God! I'll tell you, if you want to see Leylines, what a sight of Leylines.
I don't think so. We're going down the wrong road now.
I know.
Slippery slope.
let's talk about St. Michael's ley lines. Oh, Jesus.
Well, it's bad
So-
enough we're now talking about Scott's ley lines. Now you're talking about Marks and Spencer's ley lines.
Of course. Why not have it every way? No, don't have it every way. You know what? That. So, the longest ley lines in the UK is said to be St. Michael's alignment. It has many sites dedicated to St. Michael's along its length, beginning at St. Michael's Mount in Cornwall. I actually need you to do that accent there. It crosses southern England through many significant ancient places before it reaches the North Sea at Hopton, just south of Great Yarmouth in Norfolk. So, wait a minute to show you the lovely map of the ley line.
It used to come through Colchester, but then they closed that one.
Really? I'm going, really? But,
In fact, no, they didn't close it. They moved it. So I didn't realise a ley line could move. But, you know, they moved the one in Colchester town centre and they moved it to the outskirts. It's just a food hall now. So, yeah. Anybody that doesn't know, for anybody, Lois, for anyone that doesn't know, that Marks and Spencer's used to be called St. Michael's.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's what we're laughing at, yeah.
It's
That's
like,
why me and Lynn were laughing.
I was like, what the hell?
I
think
that is not going to happen.
Nick, what does a true American wear under his coat? Scott says, it's my gran that still dresses me. That I could quite believe. Scott says, but kicked out of Marks and Spencer's, seemingly you're not allowed to. Oh my God, cool off in their fridges.
Yeah, I did that in Tesco's once, and they told me I'd turn the food off.
Oh. Oh my Lord. Oh, this is why Friday night, just to let go. Have fun and let go.
You just reminded me something way back.
Hello.
It's
Send you something in the private chat.
Well, way back in the early
I think you're gonna
80s,
like
I
it.
overreached
Yeah,
myself
Tuesday.
to the food shop. And I went in to get something and I couldn't reach, and I reached further and I fell inside the freezer.
Oh, give me 2 minutes and I'll give you a shout out.
I think that's the reason why the ones in our local Tesco's had broken down, you know. We went down there yesterday and there was nothing in the freezer section. It was completely empty. So I think I might have done some damage to the freezer when I jumped in.
Oh my God. What you is like? Was
There's only one bag of chips left.
Wait, hang on a second. Oh my God, Chantel. As long as keeping his tied to a bikini, whatever you want.
We've got bikinis everywhere. Scott says, I've got a life ban from Tesco's. They don't appreciate you shopping with your red wear. Oh, tonight, folks, I am going to die off and go to my therapist. In fact, I'm going to lie down in a dark room after this show, after Scott and his comments.
Oh my God, or something.
Oh Lord, oh Lord. I just want to give a couple of shouts out.
Fools and ghouls.
Let me correct that. You are beyond help.
That's you getting a bit tell. You're not getting any dinner.
That's told me. Look out.
You tell him, you tell. Hey, love. I just want to
I
give
might be in trouble later.
you are in deep trouble. 3 shout-outs I want to give you guys. First of all, please check out Paranormal Pen Pals Worldwide. It is a good group. They're worth checking out. I'm in helping the guys as well. You're right, it's a heat of law bringing out all the crazies. So then, the second, I can't even remember the shout-outs now. The night just went, the international.
Yeah, I'll say this one because I've actually been in the chat just to see, you know, like who's all watching and stuff like that. And I saw and this is someone who I've spoken to a few times by the name of Ava, who has been watching a few times, and she's another new. I actually told her about this show previously, and this time where she's from, she's watching all the way from Sweden.
Oh, Sweden!
Oh,
yeah. So
fantastic! Sweden.
Yeah, it really goes to show how much we're really growing. So, you know, for all these international connections, we appreciate you guys taking the time of coming in and watching us.
Yes, and we do apologise. It's on a rather funny night with the Fails and Ghouls. Chantel says, it's the heat the low brings out all the crazies. It's a Friday night. Everybody's letting their hair down. Chris says peaceful. It's that weekend fun. Shake your shimmy. Chris says, don't shake it too hard, but Chris says bees will fly up next. Kilt, look out. Laura put, just thought I'd nip on and say hi. Still not feeling brilliant, but a huge hello. Get well soon, sweetheart. Get well soon.
Get well soon.
Oh, so will we fly off with the UFOs? What is happening in UFO land recently, Wayne? Any exciting?
Quite a bit.
Oh.
There are still being eyewitness accounts. People are still seeing them.
Yeah.
They lately, just recently, the Pentagon now has done a complete U-turn. Firstly, they admitted that there was something out there that was nothing to do with them or nothing to do with any earthboundly vehicle.
Yeah.
So that only points the finger in one direction only, and that's extraterrestrial. If it's not terrestrial, it's extraterrestrial or subterrestrial.
Yeah.
Because there is a common theory that there is another Earth underneath the surface.
Yeah.
Claims are that there is an entrance in Antarctica where Admiral Byrd was sent down shortly towards the end of the war. He was sent down to Antarctica because it was led to believe that there was a Nazi base down there. And unfortunately, Himmler had a thing about the occult, and Antarctica was on his hit list. So Admiral Byrd was sent down there. Apparently, he flew a plane into a rather large cavern entrance or hangar entrance. And while he was there, he came in contact with other people, and they told him under no circumstances was he ever to come back. And there were UFOs that came out at the time, came out of this entrance behind him, and made sure that the fleet disappeared rather quickly.
Didn't they?
Yes, they did. They were attacked, and that was just the warning not to come back. Only we've just ignored them. So there is this otherworldly look about it, but the Pentagon now is turning around and saying, "No, it's not. It's not." They're covering their tracks.
I don't quite get why they did that. Why they did this whole big meeting where they sat in a room and they were going to tell the world and blah blah blah, and now they're just. I just knew. See, as soon as they had that meeting, I knew it wouldn't be too long before then they were like, reverse.
Well, the thing is under the Freedom of Information Act, if somebody requests it, they can't deny it. And the more people that request it, the more they have to submit to it. But what they did was they turned around and said, that's fine, we will give you disclosure. When they set a date, then they postponed it to another day because apparently there was so much information to hand out. They wanted to make sure that they gave out the right information. But what they actually did was they collected the information to be given out and then they redacted some of it. So they blackened out some of the information. But you don't know what that information is. So it could be key information to do with a sighting or a witness testimony. It was blacked out. So you didn't get full disclosure. You just got partial disclosure. So that was when all these whistleblowers, people, Stephen Greer and all these people that had worked in Area 51 and became whistleblowers, all of a sudden then came forward and actually spoke at Congress and said, this is where we stand regards to this. Why can't you agree with what our findings are and what evidence we've got? Why can't you just admit it? But they won't. So this thing is now going to be ongoing yet again. But the problem is now is that with the advent of social media, with mobile phones being more powerful than they ever were before, as well as becoming smaller. So they're becoming more powerful, but smaller at the same time. And social media itself has become such a media outlet that you could push aside all the tabloid media and the TV media. They can no longer control news information. Social media now has a bigger standing than any news network around the world. You look at TikTok. TikTok itself, although it is for entertainment purposes, people post a lot of things on there. But what you have to do is you have to decipher what is the crap and what is the real stuff. But again, you can tell what is real and what isn't. If you look at AI videos nowadays, you can still make out what is real and what isn't, simply because things like AI eyes do not work.
What's everybody's thoughts when you're talking about AI, right? And I've seen this a lot recently on Facebook, but they have even StreamYard has the exact same thing when you're creating, and it has like an AI sort of generator. What I noticed recently, though, when I was writing my statements, not so much now because it's disappeared, but there used to be, hey, Rigga, hey, honey, night, Nicola. But if I was writing something on Facebook, it would give me the option of AI, and I just thought it's really, it's, as you say, social media, right? There's a lot that you could put on social media now. It's amazing what you can put on social media. It's amazing what you get groups for. You get groups for nearly everything. If there's anything that you want to, like, it's amazing the amount of groups that I've found for the subjects that I associate with and I look up, and it's astronomical the amount of groups out there that are for practically everything. Here's the problem,
the thing is with social media as well is the fact that news travels quicker on social media than it does on mainstream news channels. Things like the England football manager Gareth Southgate. I heard about him resigning 5 hours before BBC News mentioned it. And they were like, exclusive news, Gareth Southgate quits as England manager. I'm like, but I knew that at lunchtime.
This is it.
You know, so it's not exclusive news because I already know.
Bye, Chris. Here's the thing, right? When you're saying that, Wayne, really, right, in the world, right, who really buys such things as newspapers or magazines anymore? Because you really don't need to. When you go,
old people do.
Well,
commuters and old people.
Yeah.
If you go on a train to any major city, and you will find just about everybody that's sitting there reading a newspaper.
Uh-huh.
You know,
But
it's although it's mobile phones, you're looking at a small screen. So unless you're sitting there with an iPad where you could read it on a bigger screen, but then you're treating everybody else to that as well. So you read a newspaper instead.
Yeah.
But that's why a lot of newspaper companies have now gone on to social media as well.
yeah,
But
everything's
they
on
will
social
print the
media.
news first and then stick it on social media as well.
Yeah.
It's amazing the amount of things, and as much as I don't like social media at times, it does have its purposes and it does serve its purposes, because there's a lot of groups that I'm in, like, that are really, really good for information. Like, if I wanted, and I'm not doing it because you're my co-host or anything, and Mark's my friend, but if I wanted to know anything reliable about UFOs or what's happening in the world or anything, I could go to the Dark Mirror show. Easy.
Yeah.
And it's not, and I'm not just saying that, guys, because obviously Wayne's in front of me. I always say that. I really can't stand that Dark Mirror show, but shh, they pied me.
They're a bunch. They're a bunch of idiots. They ain't got a clue what they're talking about.
Yeah, they have no clue. In fact, see if Mark watches this, he'll kill me.
I don't even know why they've got a show, because they're complete idiots.
I was going to say one guy I don't like most of all out of that whole group is this guy named Wade.
Oh well.
Yeah, he's
Exactly.
he's a paranormal investigator, an author, and a presenter, and he just hasn't got a clue. You know,
He
not a
is.
clue.
And then if I want to, it's amazing. It's just it's a shame that the world just doesn't work together if you need information. It just seems to be, I'm keeping my information, screw you, sort of thing.
Yeah.
The thing is, regards to on the side of UFOs, more countries now are coming out a lot more than they used to. France, Denmark, China, they are starting to be more upfront with reports of UFOs, and they are now providing a database for the public to actually go to and look at any recent UFO sightings. Our ones, you can go on to local police constabulary websites and look up UFO sightings. And for Essex, the latest one was 2022.
Yeah.
So 2 years old was the last report. Well, I know for a fact there's been UFO sightings in Essex within the last 6 months.
Well, not everybody's reports.
No.
Sorry?
Not everybody reports them, do they?
No, they don't, because they don't want to be ridiculed. No one wants to turn around and say, I saw an object, especially now when there's so many people flying drones.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is. I'll quickly get into the comments. Chantel question: when a dude gets into cold water naked, do their plums touch the water twice, like pre and post? Chantel says, I think instead of an entry to the world under our feet, it's a wormhole or portal to different but coexisting parallel worlds. See, I love Chantel, because this is my thoughts. That's why it's extraterrestrial, not sub or outer, any type of terrestrial. Hi, Ragnar. Chris says, gonna go try. Bye, lovey.
Oh, I actually wanted to say something real quick on that. If you guys didn't know, Chris was kind of in a car accident a few days ago. He wasn't.
Oh, bless. I hope he's okay.
He's not seriously injured, but he was, his limbs are kind of sore. He has been released from the hospital, and it was not his fault. It was the driver's fault. It was it was both pickup trucks, and it was all happening at like 40, 45 miles an hour. So it was going very, very fast. So I looked at the damage. It totally destroyed the front body of the car. I mean, I saw it looked well beyond any repair. That car was scrap metal at that point.
Ramped off.
Oh, good. I hope he's okay, definitely. Rigger says, I will get to the stage where AI will introduce into the paranormal we teams will use for fakery. True. William, hey William, how you doing? Rigger loves I use paper, trust you. William says, used to read psychic news. Did you get any predictions?
I thought Rigo originally said, I don't know why I guess I must have misread. I thought he said, love is a newspaper.
I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Rigger says, ducking up ass there, love. Fuck you, Rigger. Kid, no, don't hurt me. Don't you worry, I'll be coming for you. Chantel says, but do you think I thought she was going to talk about balls again. But do you think there's a predictive truth to AI image generators, or a bunch of stone dudes sitting in a control room coming up with random drawings? Their highest brains.
The thing is with AI generators is an AI generator only reacts to the instructions given. So when you do an AI image or an AI video, you have to set the perimeters. It's like creating a computer program. You have to set the perimeters, and the computer program knows what it's got to do from the instructions you've given it. And that's how an AI image or video works. You have to set the perimeters. So you could say, young girl walking through a dark, misty forest. Yeah. And then you could generate. Then the AI image generator then works out, right, well, I need to get a girl, a forest, misty, it's dark. So it thinks of all these different possibilities and gives you the best outcomes it could possibly think of. Wow. And then you just select which one you prefer. But you can then also set how you want the style. So you could go with a gothic style, and the girl could be wearing a black outfit with black makeup and pale complexion and all sorts. But then you could turn it into a cartoon character. So everything's like an episode of The Simpsons.
Yeah.
So it could be so far out and you can tell. But then you can go for the realistic art style, where it's almost as realistic as true life. But the one thing that gives it away is always the eyes. For some unknown reason, at the moment, the AI generator cannot give a true setting of the eyes. And I've got a sneaky suspicion it has got something to do with biology. I found out the other day, and I love looking into things like this, and I looked into it, and it turns out to be true that if your body knew about your eyes, you'd go blind.
Shut up. Really?
If your body recognized your eyes, it would send antibodies to attack and destroy them.
Get lost.
Crazy.
No.
Apparently that is true. Your body doesn't know that your eyes are a part of its body. And if it knew your eyes were there, it would send antibodies to attack them.
And how did you find that out?
How did you find that out?
It was something I was reading, and then Ellen mentioned it, and my daughter Chloe mentioned it. She learned about it in science at school, and I'm like, I didn't know that. Wow, I learn something new every day.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. William says...
Spooky.
I get confused between AI and A1. that band, Jesus Christ. William says John Connor's going to rescue us one day for AI. Hello. I better blow kisses to Tom.
Good day.
You know what? He doesn't need kisses or anything because he's not.
Chantel says, sure, Wayne, does anybody else think this is a quick show tonight? We're actually nearly done an hour, Jesus Christ. Chantel says, sure, Wayne, but what about an instruction to draw, say, how will the world end, or draw a post? That one.
A post-apocalyptic world. It will do that as well. If you instruct an AI generator to draw a post-apocalyptic world, it will do it.
Wow.
And 9 times out of 10, it would probably give you a skyline setting with either a nuclear bomb going off behind it or the world in ruins, and fire and brimstone and all of that, because that's the perimeters you set. Post-apocalyptic, straight away it's a suggestion, and the AI generator will recognize that word and it will put it in. So the chances will be most of post-apocalyptic worlds would be a world in ruins, a world on fire.
I think that's pretty mental.
That's how we've been brought up to believe an apocalyptic world would be looking like.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Well, look at Fallout. Oh my God, I'm daft about Fallout. Tom says, "Good day, my fine pickle people. Good day to you, handsome." I did say that, fine pickle people. Tim says, "Where are you? They have 5 fingers and a thumb too." Tom says, "Every man needs kisses. See, this man loves his kisses." And William, you know me. I don't care. Fuck AI. Give me a third eye anytime. I'll say what William means. That's what he's saying. See, this is where I'm wanting Nick to build
William was just
that
being
energy.
Wait, what?
This is where I want Nick to build that inner energy. Breathe in and just let it go.
I couldn't do that. Not after eating 3 fried eggs. There's no way I'm doing that.
No.
If I breathe in,
Holly.
everybody here is going to regret it.
So, it's like one of the ones, isn't it?
It's like massive.
Let's put it this way. Trump would be in my kitchen.
Nicholas just put an interesting comment. We just going to have to watch The Simpsons to see what happens to us.
Yeah.
Actually, a good series to watch, if anybody gets the chance, and if you can find it, because it's difficult to get hold of now, but when it was out, Stephen King's Under the Dome.
I love
Absolute.
I've heard a lot about it, though. Yeah.
Absolutely amazing series. And if you read the book and then go through to watch the series, it is amazing.
Yeah.
And that is typical post-apocalyptic world, but this little group of people. It's. I mean, I was absolutely gobsmacked with the first series. You get a cow chopped in half by this invisible dome, and one half falls onto the floor, and you see the insides of the cow on the other side, and then it slides down the dome, and I'm like, that's pretty cool.
That is. I need to watch that.
It's a little bit like that film. Is it the Blade Runner where he's hiding because he can't live outside that dome?
No.
Is that the Blade Runner? Which one?
No, that's not Blade Runner.
What is it? Where they're hiding and they're running and they all have to die at a certain age. I haven't seen it for years.
Oh, that sounds more like Soylent Green, when everybody's turned into food. When they get to a certain age, they all get turned into food.
No.
I kind of think
about this again. I found that fascinating.
There's quite a few films like that where you've got. I mean, Judge Dredd. Everybody lives in dome cities, and you know, if they're banished, they have to go out into the wastelands.
Yeah.
You know, but Under the Dome was really sort of. I don't know. It's quite out there because it's not the typical Stephen King. You always expect Stephen King to be the master of macabre.
Yeah.
But he goes into science fiction as well. And Under the Dome is one of those play with your head sort of series. You know, it's wow, well, what if this and what if that? And you're just like, okay. And then The Mist. The Mist itself,
do you know what film. I loved that film. Do you know what I found really, really quite heartbreaking at the end was the poor guy. They were going to take their own life, and he was going to take his own life, and he stepped out the car, and the fucking mist went, and everybody in the army And I
But
was
there
like,
is an alternative ending.
is
There
there? I never
there
knew
They
that.
filmed they
There
filmed
actually
two
is.
endings.
They actually say the alternative ending is probably better than the original one, actually.
Yeah.
What was the alternative ending?
The one where the one they actually stuck with was the one where he killed everybody else in the car bar himself. And just as he was about to kill himself, the army turn up and destroy everything, and he's safe, but everybody else, including his son, is dead.
Yeah.
But in the other ending, they all survive.
Oh,
But it's the
I
carnage
think
that has
there's
been
just-
caused.
I think it in that ending too is that I don't think the army shows up this time, if I'm
Yeah.
correct. So basically, it's like the whole world has been taken over by this other dimension. They just kind of have to. It leaves it ambiguous. Like
Yeah.
they now realize that this is the world that they were now going to have to live in and fighting probably fighting all these other monsters and creatures.
yeah.
Which would mean that they'd eventually die anyway.
Yeah. So, but in a more meaningful and like more, I guess in an ending that would make more sense, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. What about I Am Legend? Because I Am Legend's got two
Yeah, they
endings.
do. Actually saw that movie in theater.
Yeah. I'm going to quickly put up the comments. Chantel said, is somebody's phone vibrating?
Yeah, sorry, it's me.
Alright, no, it's alright. I was just thought I was, in case I was hearing things. Chantel, but it hasn't happened, so who says, and you can say these similar images, so makes it predictable or prophecy or just not just random, sorry. Why can't a unicorn flirt and end the world? Chantel, you're something else. Noreen says, loved Under the Dome. William says, I watched Planets of the Apes. Tells me all I want to know about humans. Chantel says, what if the stars are just holes poked in the lid so we can breathe? Noreen says, why the twist and turns way under the dome? And Chantel says, I'm going to die in my sleep, not screaming like the other people in my car.
Wow.
Oh, Chantel. Holly thought she blew her speaker. But guys, it's been a really, really good night. So a big announcement. There's two important shows next week. Thursday we are doing on the Mystical Carousel show. Yes, I'm getting in the line of saying
Got
it.
it.
Woo! With the so proud of myself. So proud of myself. We are doing a tournament. Autism Awareness Part 2.
Yeah.
Yep. And we will be joined with Belle Norbury again. So that will be a really, really good. We're going to pick up where we left off because obviously Wayne and a couple of other guys had commented to say that we needed to cover a lot more. There was a lot more to be covered. So we're doing a second part. And Belle's agreed to come back on, which was amazing because Belle works. Her business is doing training for autism awareness and that, so it's brilliant. On Friday, guys, we are doing now on the 27th of July is Proud to be Paranormal Day. So on the 26th, we are showing our support to Barry Frankish and we're doing our very own Proud to be Paranormal night. We will be joined by the one, the only Jenny Sullivan. She is coming on for a night where we'll just be sitting talking paranormal, having a laugh, showing our support.
Yeah.
Because guys, you know, it's a great thing to have. And do you know what? The more that I'm meeting people, the right people are coming into my life, the more I'm buying into this whole para-unity I've got obviously you guys who mean the world to me, and obviously the guys that watches. As I say a million times, if it wasn't for them, these guys, we wouldn't have shows. So
if I could just throw in, sorry, Lois, if I could just throw in,
no, you're fine, honey.
By including all these other international connections who's been watching.
Well, that was the next thing at my mind.
Like I said, with who we've had watching tonight, I mean, with these different countries and stuff, that is true para-unity right there, because they share the same interests, they support us, and of course, obviously, we'll support them in return.
And the thing about it is, Nick, let's be honest, you and I've got to give full credit to yourself, because you've went digging, and I'm sure your map on your wall is nearly digged around. But
Sounded like a moped then.
Who, me?
Yeah, you went digging. Sounded like some old moped. You're an old scooter. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I am sorry I didn't put enthusiasm in it. Sorry. Digging. But obviously, because your international connections, obviously you're bringing the world together, and that is true para-unity, and it is. And then obviously the people we meet, and this nutter down here, that man down there. That nutter down there that keeps us laughing.
The thing is, right, is people say to me, there's no such thing as para-unity. But like religions of the world, para-unity exists, but within groups. Now, you've got people like all of us that part of the Things Network and the people that watch the shows and everything else. This is where para-unity works.
Yeah.
Because everybody watches the shows and everybody talks to each other, and we all enjoy the shows that we do and the investigations that we all go out on. That's where para-unity works. We may not agree with another group of paranormal investigators because they do things a different way.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh,
so
all right.
You know,
bye,
but
Wayne.
with us, bye everybody. You all went blank. But that's where para-unity exists, and that's why it works, because we're all there together. But I always like, although paranormal investigating is a serious subject, it's nice to have a bit of fun at the same time, because I personally believe that positive energy is the key to a lot of investigations. So if you can mix it up and enjoy yourselves and have a bit of fun at the same time, you can also be serious and actually get a lot more positive energy and activity from that as a result.
Yeah,
definitely.
If you go in being negative and you're all sitting there like someone slapped you around the face with a wet fish, it's not going to work. No one talks to each other. There's no atmosphere there. There's no positive energy. So the only thing you're likely to get is something that's going to scare the living daylights out of you, and everybody's going to end up running out.
Yeah.
So you want things to be positive, and it works that way.
I think you're right, because it draws in good, strong, healthy energies.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm a nutter.
That's good.
Yeah, you are. But do you know what? You guys have all got your quirks that I absolutely love. And Lynn just makes me laugh, and it's just every time that wee laugh comes. I thought Nick had a great laugh until I listened to Lynn. And we obviously like Lynn being our new addition to the family. Which I do. I welcome her with open arms. Oh, for God's sake. There's that twat back. Oh, spandex, really? Oh my lord.
I actually wanted to tell you guys. You talk about again when you bring para-unity to other countries and stuff like that.
I thought you were going to say about spandex.
No, no, I just received a message back from someone that I shared about our network about. And it's I'm not going to say his full name just yet, but his name is Chris, and this is someone that I just again he and I talk every now and then. Chris, this time he's from France.
Oh.
Oh.
Bonjour.
Yeah. I realized we hadn't gotten France yet, so I thought I'd add that for the page. And that's, again, another example. Spreading the unity in other countries.
Yeah. Oh, that's another rabbit hole. Nick and spandex. I'm saying nothing. We love you all. Thank you very much, sweetheart. You're all lovely people, to be fair. Noreen says. William says life is a kill me. Where are we? William says, actually, I thought I saw a cat with one eye. It was actually walking backwards. Scott says, mind you, my neighbour wasn't happy. He was trying to watch his TV. He told me to get out of his living room. Some folk are just so picky. Oh, honest to God, Baldy, you kill me. You kill my soul.
Baldy.
But Nick and spandex. I can imagine Nick with a squeaky bum.
Oh,
If he's wearing shorts with the squeaky bum.
I can imagine Nick in spandex.
Oh God.
Poor Nick's getting imagine me spandex.
And then diving balls, and as he walks up, it.
Oh,
There's nothing like a good pair of spandex.
well, see if he ever comes in here all tied up with chains and all that, I really will die off with shock. Oh, poor Nick. Poor Nick's getting the night, Nick. We love you.
Yeah, I know you
do. We do love you.
Scott says,
Can't call it talcum powder anymore.
why
It's not called talcum powder anymore.
not?
They outlawed it. It's called baby powder now.
that's kind of true. Can't argue with that.
It's something to do with the name talcum. They're not allowed to use the word talcum anymore, so it's got to be called baby powder.
No, the world has gone crazy. The world it's going nuts. I hate it. You can't say this, you can't say that, you can't. Do you know what? Obviously everybody knows we're doing the 5-part series of the craze, and this really boils my piss. Is that
Well, I don't think I want a cup of tea round your house. Not that. That's why your Iron Brew looks like it does.
It does. I'm pissing it before the show, but don't tell nobody.
If I'm ever up your way, I'm bringing my own drink. You understand? I'm bringing my own drink.
I'm not that bad.
Would you like a cup of tea? No, you're all right. I
Oh
stopped at McDonald's before I got here.
Well, they call them golden showers for nothing. You know what I mean? So
Bubbles.
I know it's like this show just goes from straight. We talk about ley lines, straight, up, down.
Gone.
We're going down. But what really does get me is that people, when we're talking about obviously the craze, right? So people join groups, right? They join groups of, Nori says the tones went down very quickly. You better believe it's went down.
Chris.
Hey Chris, how you doing, my lovey? William says about using Vaseline. Scott says, Wayne, I used to use baby powder until I fell out my cot last week. Hey Joe, you're bloody right. That Scott's going to get a kick in the arse. But people join groups.
I've just found out the reason why it's called baby powder now and not talcum powder.
Go on then.
How come, lovey?
It was something to do like talcum powder or talc is a clay mineral composed of hydrated magnesium silicate. And apparently it was often combined with cornstarch, as is used as baby powder. But the mineral is used as a thickening agent and a lubricant, and it's also an ingredient in ceramics, paints, and roofing material, and was also classed or also known as being a cause of cancer.
Oh my God!
I didn't know that.
I used to make that stuff.
So they altered it, and now it's just called baby powder.
See, that was actually quite better than what I was actually expecting for reasoning. What I was actually expecting for reasoning was something to do with any wars or any sort of, anything really to do with anything that's really, really bad. I mean, guys, we're in 21st century, and it's even getting ridiculous what you can say in podcasts and what you can't say in podcasts. But I still go with the flow, and as William, is Viagra, let's go for it. Is Viagra a lubricant?
Oh my God. I am not touching that.
No, it's not. It's a stiffening agent.
I'm sorry to say, William, but it's a hard one to answer.
Yeah.
You get a stiff neck.
That's why I'm not going to touch that one.
Oh, do you know what?
Starch. It makes things erect.
WD-40's handy. It's a good lubricant. Oh, for God's sake! So is Gorilla Glue.
I mean, I got nothing about it. It's like what I said before.
See?
Gorilla Glue, you stick your hand to it, you're never going to let go of it.
See?
But I use it to stick things together. Well, there are also alternatives.
Well, I said this. You know what? I was going to say, Wade. I said this before about something else, but that's the thing. Maybe you should do that and then sue the hell out of Gorilla Glue for like that one lady did for putting in her freaking hair.
Oh my God! Nobody says there was a lot of cases in America. I should have warned Jeremy before I came live tonight that it's going to get rowdy. There was a lot of cases where Justice was sued because if it's carcinogenic properties. Chris says, beware of a man with a tube of Gorilla Glue. That's all I have to say. Do you know what, guys? I am so lost in this show tonight. So, what is happening in Castle Seeding on Monday?
DIY this weekend. That's all I'm doing.
What about those lovely...
I've got to work in the grounds.
You've got to work in the grounds?
The grounds of Castle Seeded are having an overhaul. Why did I just sound like Stewie from Family Guy?
I was trying to say.
Yes. And after we've finished, we're going to have some Cool Whip.
You say you're wrong. Why are you putting so much emphasis on the H?
It's like,
everybody says whip. Even Brian says whip.
Wait, say what?
Whip.
Oh, I was going to... No,
as in Cool Whip.
Oh my God, Birdie!
It's like when you say when.
Oh, Chris says, what's the sticky situation tonight? Well, we've had spandex, we've had Viagra's lubricant, we've had,
Gorilla glue.
yeah,
And on
Gorilla
the serious side,
Glue.
we talked about Leylines and UFOs. There's been more on the comedic side than there is on the factual side, but that's why we call it Fools and Ghouls.
Exactly. This is it. And this is exactly it. Because you know what, guys? Life is too serious, and also it's a Friday night. We're having fun. Poor Nick's face is going to be redder than God knows what.
My brain has just
Chris-
gone into overtime. This is why, this is for those that don't go out, they're going out.
Yes,
Exactly.
So lots of people go out on a Friday night to enjoy themselves. For those that don't, there's us.
That's it.
Yep, tune in. Chris says, I could tell you a joke about Viagra, but I'll probably get banned off the network. Yeah, please don't. Please don't.
I've got one about reincarnation.
Go on,
Is it
then.
anything to do with Viagra?
Go on,
No,
Ray.
it's about reincarnation.
Cool.
But I'll have to come back to you on that.
Yeah. William says, I bet it's a hard one. Chris said he couldn't help it. Did you know that they actually gave all men in hospitals half a Viagra at night to stop them rolling out of bed?
Actually,
More fun
they
and
actually
safer
still give older people Guinness in hospitals. Yeah. When I worked at Severals Hospital in Colchester, on the medical wards, they used to give some of the patients cans of Guinness with their dinner because of the iron content in Guinness.
Yeah, it's good for
Well,
you.
do you know what? See with all the iron issues that seems to prop up in me all the time, it'd be a good shout to drink Guinness.
Yeah, I mean there are people that go out chewing on gateposts because of the iron content, but you know, can of Guinness would be better. You sit there, see some old guy sitting at the end of your footpath. What are you doing? I'm just getting some iron content. Don't worry about it.
Oh my lord! Oh my lord! Nick, what about you, love? What's happening for Nick?
Not very much, honestly. It's still pretty quiet. So I'm hoping it. Well, like I said, I've been starting to get back to doing the audiobooks, but that's pretty much it.
That's it. What about you, Lynn? I'm going to include you. What's happening in Lynn's world?
In Lynn's world, it's my weekend off, so I shall be gardening. I'm gardening because I
You
grow.
can come to Colchester and give me a hand.
I grow vegetables.
Chris says, you shouldn't have said that on live. You know it's going to happen now. All the Scottish people are going to be ready for 3 beer. William says, makes a change from going to Sports Direct. Oh, guys, it's been a good night. But, guys, keep tuning in. At 10 p.m. tonight on Simply Spooky Ghost Squad Scotland Network, Chris is live and he's going to have a gentleman on. I can't remember his name. Please forgive me, Chris. Who's going to be talking about crystals.
Wow.
So that is well worth a shot, guys. Tune in at 10 p.m. for Chris, definitely. And guys, please have a little bit. Please have a good weekend. Stay safe and be kind to each other, guys. And Nori says we will be back. Definitely, sweet. Definitely. But every. I'm waiting for Nick because Nick's like that,
Well,
like
no,
he's
no,
got.
I actually do have to get going because exactly somebody coming out. I got a meeting in a minute or so. So I
Are you
gotta
okay?
go. What?
Are you okay?
Yeah, everything's fine. But there's someone at the door, so unfortunately I gotta get going.
All right.
Hey.
Right. Bye, love. Right. Well, bye, everybody. Bye.
Take care,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye. Bye.